Hey everyone, welcome back to Foundational Health Solutions. I'm Dr. Stuart Hoover, and as always, I'm joined by my good friend and co-host, Eric Marquette. Eric, how are you doing today?
I'm doing well, Dr. Hoover, thanks. Excited for this one. B vitamins are a bit of a mystery to a lot of people, aren't they? I mean, you see them everywhere, but the whole methylation thing, it's not exactly dinner table conversation.
Yeah, that is so true. Methylation sounds like this big, intimidating word, but it's really just a fancy way of describing a process your body does all the time. It's crucial for things like detoxification, making energy, and even repairing your DNA. I always say, if your methylation's off, it's like trying to run your car on bad fuel.
So for the folks listening who might not have a science background, can you break down what methylation actually is? Like in plain English?
Absolutely. Think of methylation as your body's way of flipping switches on and off. It adds these little methyl groups, tiny chemical tags to molecules, and that helps your body detox, make neurotransmitters, and keep your DNA in good shape. If that process isn't working right, you can feel it, low energy, trouble focusing, all sorts of things.
And that's where B vitamins come in, right? They're like the spark plugs for this whole process.
Exactly. But here's the kicker. Not all B vitamins are created equal. You've got natural forms, which your body can use right away, and then you've got synthetic forms, which, well, sometimes just pass right through you. The natural or methylated forms are much more effective for most people, especially if you have trouble converting the synthetic stuff.
I always wondered about that. You see folic acid on a lot of labels, but then there's methylfolate, and it's not always clear which one you need.
Yeah, and that's a big deal. I had a patient, let's call her Sandy, who came in just dragging. She was exhausted, couldn't focus, and nothing seemed to help. We switched her from a regular B complex to Mother Earth Lab's super potency bioactive B complex that contains all methylated B vitamins, and within a couple of weeks she was like a new person. More energy, better mood, the whole 9 yards. It's truly amazing what the right form can do.
That's wild. And it really shows how foundational these nutrients are. No pun intended. But seriously, it's not just about taking a vitamin. It's about taking the right one for your body. So Dr. Hoover, who actually needs these methylated B vitamins? Is it just people with certain health issues? Or is this something everyone should be thinking about?
Great question. While everyone needs B vitamins, some people have genetic factors, like the MTHFR mutation, that make it hard for them to process the standard forms. If you've got that mutation, your body can't convert folic acid into the active form, so you end up missing out, even if you're taking a supplement.
And that's not exactly rare, is it? I think I read somewhere that a pretty big chunk of the population has some version of that mutation.
You're right. Depending on the population, it can be as high as 40% or more. But even if you don't have the mutation, things like stress, poor diet, or certain medications can slow down your methylation. The symptoms are pretty broad: fatigue, brain fog, mood swings, even trouble sleeping.
Yeah, and I came across a case study recently. This was with a group of athletes. They started using a methylated B complex, and the difference in their recovery times was pretty dramatic. Less soreness, more energy, and they just felt sharper overall. It's not just about fixing a deficiency, it's about optimizing how you feel and perform.
Absolutely. And it's not just athletes. Anyone dealing with chronic stress or even just the demands of modern life can benefit. If you're feeling run down or your mood's all over the place, it's worth looking at your B vitamin status. Sometimes it's a simple fix that makes a huge difference.
And I suppose, as we talked about in our gut health episode, if your digestion's off, you might not be absorbing these nutrients properly anyway. So it's all connected, isn't it?
Exactly, Eric. It's all about the foundation. If one piece is missing, the whole system can get out of balance.
All right, so let's get practical. You're standing in the supplement aisle, staring at a wall of B vitamins. How do you know which one to pick?
Yeah, it's overwhelming, isn't it? The first thing I tell people is to look for the active forms on the label, so methylfolate instead of folic acid and methylcobalamin instead of cyanocobalamin. If you see those, you're on the right track.
And if you don't see those, is it safe to say you're probably not getting the best bang for your buck?
Pretty much. The traditional forms like folic acid and cyanocobalamin are cheaper, but a lot of people just can't use them efficiently. If you notice you're taking a B complex and still feeling tired or your mood's not improving, That's a red flag you might not be absorbing it properly.
I have to admit, I've stood in that aisle, reading labels, and just felt completely lost. It's like, do I need the one with the extra ultra on the label, or the one that says active? And then there's the price difference. Sometimes it's double for the methylated stuff.
Yeah, and the marketing doesn't help. I always tell people, don't get distracted by the shiny packaging. Focus on the forms of the vitamins, and if you're not sure, ask someone who knows. And hey, if you end up spending a little more for the right form, it's usually worth it in how you feel.
And if all else fails, just remember, if the label looks like it was written by a chemist, that's probably a good sign. Or, just bring Dr. Hoover with you to the store. He'll clear the shelf for you.
I don't know if the store managers would appreciate that, but I'm always happy to help. Seriously, though, don't be afraid to ask questions. Your health is worth it.
Absolutely. Well, that's all we've got for today. Thanks for tuning in, everyone. Dr. Hoover, always a pleasure.
Likewise, Eric. And thanks to all our listeners for joining us. Make sure to visit motherearthlabs.com to learn more about their super potency bioactive B complex and other great products. We'll be back soon with more ways to build your health from the ground up. Wishing everyone all the best in health.
See you next time.